Welcome to Absurditee. This is the podcast where we talk about current events and just random bullshit. You never know what's going to come out of our mouths. I hope you enjoy. Let's have fun, boys. Absurditee.
Still have to, after we're done recording, repair my electricity.
Yeah, so you still don't have electricity, or
I have
you do?
So what happened is, for one, the GFI in my bathroom popped, which controls the electricity to half my house, including the external outlet, which controls my waterline heat and my water heater. So by waterline heat, I mean we have an electrical cord that is wrapped around my waterline that keeps it from freezing. And then also we have another one that's just the water heater that just plugs in outside. So it controls that outlet. It controls everything in the bathroom, the outlet that goes to my refrigerators, and the outlet that goes to most of the stuff that I used to cook. That went out. And we thought, you know what, old trailer, GFI is probably bad. Let's just uninstall the GFI and then install a new one. And we were just like, oh yeah, this is for sure the issue. It wasn't the issue. We installed a new GFI and it didn't work. So what we thought was, all right, well, we bought a bad GFI. So let's go buy another one. So we bought another GFI. And then that didn't work either. So what we did is we put the copper wires together to see if, without a GFI, will it let power go through and power the other outlets. We did that, and it did. So we turned the power back off. We disconnected the wires. So we're like, okay, so we're getting power. The only issue is we now don't know what the issue is. The issue is we don't know the issue. So
Oh, well, that's always good.
So we're just like, all right, well, what could be the problem with this? So we go to the outside outlet, and we look down, and the caulking had rotted away. It had just been rained on and shat on for so long that eventually it was bad. I mean, it was rusted. It looked horrible. So we're just like, all right, we found the issue. So we go to look at it, and then Dad looks down to the bottom left of my house, and he was like, why is the ground wet? Because the rest of the ground was dry everywhere else. So we go down there, he puts his hand underneath, and water's dripping. And we're like, oh, no. So we go inside, go to the bathroom, take off the platform that sits above the water heater, look down, and the floor has been corroded so bad that if you put any weight on it, it would just collapse underneath it. It's really bad. It's still bad because we can't fix it until spring. So,
wow.
But then also, so we're like, all right, well, maybe we can find where it's leaking. Maybe it's not the water heater. So we look around. We look at the connectors, at the adapters on there, and one is kind of cracked, not too, definitely hasn't gone down to this actual seal. So we're like, okay, the one behind it is split so bad that trying to take it off, just wiggling it, snapped it in half.
Wow.
So we're like, okay, awesome. We found the issue. So the next day we go and we pick up new connectors and we go to put it on and we go to close up the water heater, turn it back on. Well, it's still leaking. So we're like, all right, it's definitely the water heater. So so we have to get a new water heater. So I already bought it. It's on its way here. It's probably going to be here Sunday, which means we can't get it till Monday. But so we changed out that external outlet. And that wasn't the issue either for the electricity. But from changing out these outlets, we now have the outlet working, the GFI is working in the bathroom, and the external outlet is working. We think.
We think.
That's
all you can do.
We haven't actually tested the outside one, but we have the water line heater like plugged in, and I mean it's not fucking up. So, but now there's one more outlet that's not working, which is funny because I think it's the last outlet on that circuit. Like literally, if you trace all the lines, that's the end of the line. So I think not only was that circuit messed up, I think it was literally every single outlet down the circuit. So we literally had like 4 different issues and fixed every single one of them. I think this is the last issue. I think what happened is when we installed the outside one is very close to the last inside one. It's like just on the other side of the wall, a couple feet to the right. So I think when we were playing around with the outside one, we kept on pulling on the wires and everything. I think we made the other one go loose. Because it's not that it's not getting power. It's that it's getting so little power, the only thing it has power to do is turn on the on LED on a power strip. But it cannot actually power any devices.
That's weird.
Yeah, because you plug it in, and the green light comes on for the power strip, telling you that it has power. But if you plug anything else into it, it does not do it. If you unplug the power strip and then plug in anything else, it cannot come on. It can only power one light. So I think something got loose. So it's getting like electricity to it, but so little because it's just so loose that it's just not enough to get anything done. But it's like,
that's crazy.
What are the chances of like having an electrical fault that leads you to finding out you have a water heater leak, and then like tracing the electrical fault, and then finding like not just one issue but like 3 different issues? It's just
right.
I slept in 48-degree weather the day that we did a call. What was it, Monday?
Oh God!
Like when you guys were like, I can see your breath. Yeah.
Yeah. We could literally see your breath in the call.
I turned on the AC because the AC can only go down to 64, so it can only heat up my place. I was like, it can't get colder. I can see my breath at all times. Like my feet can't touch the ground. It's so cold. And I didn't have any running water either. So I'm sitting with no water, no heat.
I know, we were watching you try to cook.
Yeah, I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I would take the crock pot I was cooking out of my Instapot. I'd be like, I don't have water. I'd grab the ladle. I'd be like, I can't wash the damn ladle. I was so upset. I still don't have any hot water. Well, I have hot water, but only to my shower because we have a propane heater. But the issue with the propane heater is it's indoors. So we have to open up the ceiling vent, turn on the vent, and let it get all the gases out so I don't die of carbon monoxide poisoning in my sleep.
Right.
So, yeah, it's all just a pain in the ass.
Sounds like a good week you've had.
It's funny because I haven't been to work all week because I was supposed to take my car in to get repaired because it has an oil leak, and the driver's side window, when it's initially started freezing this year, I forgot about the fact that it was freezing. So I'd gotten in my car, and every time I drive, no matter how cold it is, I always roll down the driver's side window. So I get in the car and I get on the road and I go to roll down my driver's side window, and the adhesive that holds the window onto the rail came loose. So half the window went down, half of it didn't. So I popped it right back up, and I can't pop it down again, and I need to get it fixed. But now, since I have to get a water heater, and I didn't have any running water, and I lost electricity to my fridges, and all of my heat sources, I do not have the funds to take my car in. At least until I get the stimulus check. The stimulus check will go straight to my car.
Yeah, this is quite the and yet you're still here. Yeah. That's your level of commitment to the show.
That's why when you were just like, don't let this be the beginning to 2021, I was like, you think you have a bad beginning to 2021?
Well, you know, we're doing this.
I'm like 300 in the hole on 2021.
We're doing this remotely, and it's not the way I planned it.
Yeah, but
it's our first time doing a remote show, so this is it's new.
First time doing a remote show that didn't suck. Like our first episode.
Yeah. Well, we didn't know what we were doing.
Yeah.
We're still learning. I didn't have the technology that I have now. Not that it's much better than what I had now, but it is still better.
Yeah, I mean, any improvement is still improvement.
Yeah, exactly. I actually have a camera and a mic and a computer now. Whereas before, I just used my phone.
Yeah, for the first recording, we used our phone. You used your phone.
Yeah.
And
you had all the equipment. I didn't.
But I didn't have the good equipment that I have now. I had the webcam that you were initially using. My original webcam, just the really crappy like $35 webcam. I had that. I had the snowball microphone that you're using. Yeah, we need to get you a new mic.
That I'm not using anymore.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's right. You got a new mic. That's right.
Yeah, I did. I got a new mic.
Yeah.
It came in yesterday.
So for those of you that don't know, for the reason why I don't know, I forgot that it has a new mic, is because we can't see each other right now. Because Discord doesn't let you record like video on Discord and then also have your video on Streamlabs unless you're actually recording Discord screen. But I'm pretty sure, because on my end everything was smooth, but I think because you just have the like a micro tower, a mini tower, that it doesn't have enough processing power to show your video, record your video, and record your audio all at once, because recording video is pretty strenuous for computers.
That might have been the fastest I've ever heard you talk in my life.
When I get into like,
it's like you spit all that out so fast.
When I get into talking about electronics, my brain's just like, ooh, yay.
And see, now you're back down to slow motion talking.
Because you stopped me.
You're like, this, blah, 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 blah.
Slow.
Then you're like, and then I like to talk about it.
And then I like trains.
I like turtles.
Well, it's kind of just like I wanted to get that information just out there and not talk about it for too long, but that's the reason why I don't know that you have the new stuff, because I just can't see you right now.
Yeah, I ordered a new mic. It actually has the pop filter. It's not like I'm not using the one that I had that you gave me.
Yeah.
It like has one attached to it with like a metal bar, so like you don't have to adjust it or anything. It like literally goes right into the mic holder.
Ooh, nice.
And it's just like sits right in front of it. It's wonderful.
Oh yeah.
I don't have to mess with that dumb pop filter anymore.
Yeah,
thing almost falling down.
You can't see how
trying to do something.
You can't see how my mic is right now, but I have my mic on my mic arm, and it's attached to my desk that's missing a screw, so I can't touch it, or else it wiggles like a sumbitch. It's tightened on, and because I have a clasp from Wish.com, the clasp doesn't close all the way, and it's really bent, and I can't bend it back. And I think if I do bend it back, it'll like unthread the threading. So I have a clasp on with a broken dip can. Just enough that it sits in place. And then I have it going above me with a wire that goes directly above my head that you guys can't see. But there's a wire that goes directly above my head like a hanging Christmas light. And it always catches like my peripheral. So every time I'm looking down or looking around, my eye just catches it and it annoys the hell out of me. Because it's like a fly around the room that never moves. You just occasionally see.
You know what the beauty of doing this remotely is, where you can't see me?
You can what?
Is I can make weird faces and you have no idea.
But they'll know because they can see it. If they're
I know, that's the beauty of it. Is they'll know and then they'll make it. I don't know. Anywho, so we didn't say it, but Happy New Year, everyone.
Oh yeah, and hope you guys had a great Christmas. Well, see, I mentioned Christmas because I put a post out, but I don't think you saw the post. Put a post on our Instagram. It was my first.
Today?
Yeah, I think an hour.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, I saw it.
That's the first post I've ever made on Absurditee Instagram. So.
Yeah, we're gonna try to We're gonna try to keep up to date with all of them, with our Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Which we're keeping up with Facebook pretty well. It's just
I'm trying.
We don't have very there's nobody. We don't really have anyone following us on those other two, so it's like, what's the point of updating them? You know what I mean?
Well, see,
we have
I like to
one follower on Twitter,
but I like to interact with people.
I do too.
I just don't have anyone to interact with.
What we need is more listener interaction on all forms of social media. We want to hear from everyone because it makes doing this even more fun, is to know that our listeners are also enjoying what we're doing and being part of it.
Yeah, because I mean, we have a Facebook, we have a Twitter, we have a YouTube, we have an Instagram, we have a Spotify.
We have Apple Podcasts.
God, we have 9 things now.
And I'm trying to keep up with all of them. It's kind of
and how many Spotify downloads do we have now?
I mean, altogether, not just Spotify, but altogether is 138.
It's not bad.
And we just put it up 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
so that's not terrible.
I mean, that's
not terrible at all.
That's really good for starting off.
That one night that I woke up and you're like, we're up to 120. We jumped up 72 downloads in one night. I was like, holy, it was awesome.
I like that from when I told you that to when you saw the number, it had jumped up 50 more.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Because I was like, oh, hey, we reached this number. And you're like, no, we're at this number now. I was like, I only messaged you 2 hours ago, and I messaged you the second I got the email about reaching.
Oh yeah, you told me it was 100.
It's 100,
and then I was like, you said 100, and I was like, no, we're at 127 now, dude.
Yeah, so I jumped up, 27, and I was like, it's been an hour or so since I messaged you.
Yeah, it was really cool. That was a really cool morning.
Yeah,
I just felt so good about it.
I did too. I woke up and I was like, wow, it's not often you get to wake up to good news. It's really rare that you get to wake up to good news.
It's very rare. Yeah, you wake up and you're immediately you're happy because it's awesome.
It's rare to wake up happy.
Exactly. Yeah, you always wake up in a bad mood. I do. I'm like,
I wake up,
but I woke up that morning and I was like, oh my god.
I wake up in a genuinely good mood for the most part. I'm not in a good mood. I'm groggy, but I'm definitely a morning person. And then by morning person, I mean I could wake up between the hours of 3 a.m. And 10 a.m. and I'll if you give me 5 minutes, I'll be in a good mood. But the later the day goes, the worse my mood gets.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. We'd set up a grocery pickup the other day, and I was like, we set it up for between 9 and 10. I was like, I'll be up before that for sure. And I was sleeping in I think it was the living room, and my son came in and woke me up. And I was like, dude, you've got to learn that when people are sleeping, you got to just let them sleep. And then I looked at my phone and it was 9:15. I was like, oh my god, thank you for waking me up, son. I never sleep in that late. It was so weird for me to sleep in that late. I'm usually up at 7:30 or so.
I have a weird schedule, so at all times now I'm pretty much up before 6. It's either I'm up before 6 or I go to bed at 6. 6
I think okay, so my wife tested positive for COVID. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. I said I didn't want to, but I'm going to.
Might as well just throw it out there.
Yeah, so I've been stuck at the house for a little while. And it's like my sleep schedule is over. It's like so out of whack right now because I'm like going to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning and waking up at like 9:30. And I know that's gonna suck come next week because I get to go back to work next week. And I'm gonna be messed up because I typically go to work early, but I won't be able to now. Like I know I'm not gonna be able to wake up at 6 a.m.
Yeah, like I said,
because now I don't get tired until like 11:30. Like I don't start getting tired till like 11:30. So
but then you're not going to get enough sleep.
Waking up and I'm going to be exhausted unless I just power through it one day and then I'm so tired by the time I get home that I go to bed early. Then I can get back on track.
Power throughing it is dangerous though when your entire job is based around driving.
Oh, that doesn't I'm not like that when it comes to driving. Like once I'm up, I'm up.
We had this conversation. I think like an episode or two ago.
Yeah, we did.
Well,
once I'm up and moving around, once I'm up and moving around, like I'm fine.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of like getting myself disciplined enough to get up and get out of bed instead of just hitting snooze 47 times.
Yeah, like I said, I have that issue where I can't stay awake for too long when I'm driving. Like I say that, but I've driven hours before. Like I've driven 3 hours somewhere and then 3 hours back the same day. But
yeah,
it's just not comfy for me. But I also have that weird work schedule too, like I was talking about, where I get up at 2:30, 3 a.m. and I get to work by 3:30 or 4, and then I work until 10 if it's busy, and then 9 if it's not.
Yeah.
So I have that weird schedule of me being old and be like, well, I got to make sure I eat dinner by 4:30, or else I'm not going to be able to get to bed by 6 p.m. so I can wake up.
Yeah.
But so it really sets my schedule to a level of being an adult that I don't feel like, where I am up and moving by 6 a.m. on a weekend. I'm just like, I don't like this. Why aren't I being the regular 23-year-old that I'm supposed to be and getting plastered until 8 in the morning and then doing cocaine off a stripper's ass and then falling asleep? No, I'm not fun.
I mean, I didn't do that at 23, so
I feel like people in our family are boring at a quick age.
It's like we get more fun as we get older.
Yeah, because like we don't have fun in our like early 20s or late teens. We have fun in like our late 20s, early 30s.
I mean, I did. When I was I think it was 2021. I had Dad and Grandma both worried about the lifestyle I was choosing. Dad actually called me and was like, "We're worried about you." I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm just literally just having fun. Like, I don't know."
It's that level. Like, you gotta understand the fact that they're worried because they did the same exact thing. But when you reflect on how you were then, 20, 30 years down the road, you're like, yeah, that was stupid. And if I see anyone doing that, I need to stop them from doing that.
I mean, I was literally just drinking every night. Like, it wasn't like that was it. Like, it wasn't like doing like drugs or anything. Like, I was just drinking a lot, like partying all the time. But that was it. And Dad was like, "We're worried about you, son." I'm like, "I'm fine, Dad. I'm just enjoying my 20s. Like, I don't know what you want from me."
I was doing crazy stuff in Houston, Texas. Not like, well, I was going to say not drugs. I smoked weed in Houston, Texas a lot. This is when Dad's going to find out about that because he didn't know about that.
I mean, I've smoked weed before.
We know.
Like,
we all know.
Okay. I mean, it's not something I hide.
No.
Like, I'm not ashamed of it. Like, I did it, and it's just, it wasn't for me, so I stopped.
You want to tell the Groundhog's Day story?
The Groundhog's Day.
You know what I'm talking about? Or the what was it? when the dude was walking in reverse?
Oh,
no,
yeah,
I'm talking about. Yeah.
So Yeah, now I do. Yeah, I thought I did at first, but I was like, well, maybe I have the wrong story, but I couldn't remember another story. So yes, I know exactly what you're talking
Yeah.
about. So I was living with a buddy of mine, ironically named Cameron as well. Um, that was fun to explain to people. Who are like, oh, who lives here? Oh, Cameron. Oh, who else lives here? Cameron. What? Huh? Uh, so we literally called it Casa de Cameron because it worked for both of us.
Oh yeah.
But there was a night that we were drinking a lot. Like I probably had half a bottle of vodka by myself plus beer, and then someone had brought weed over, and they were like, "Hey, do you want some weed? Do you want to smoke some weed?" I was like, "Do you want some? Do you want some of the marijuana?"
Yes, I'll take one weed, please.
Can I just get a half a weed? I don't know if I can do a full weed. So drunk me, I'm like, yeah, because that's when you make all your best decisions.
Yeah,
And
precisely.
no one told me that. Hey, if you're already drunk, don't smoke weed. No one told me that information. That was something I had to figure out on my own. And so I did, and I sat down on the couch, and like the whole room was like spinning, and I was like, I can't, I'm not gonna make it through the night, guys. Like I'm done. Like I thought I was dying, and so my roommate comes up, and he's telling me something, and I can't remember what he told me, but I think it was in the matter of like he was getting ready to head to bed. So I was like, okay. He walks off around the corner, and then he comes back in reverse and like talks like if you hit like I don't know if a lot of these people are gonna know, but when you hit on a VHS on a VCR, if you hit rewind without hitting stop first, you can like hear it rewind. And so he like made the sound as if he was like rewinding himself. Comes back, stands in front of me, and says the same thing again. And in my head, I'm like, oh my god, what just happened? And he walks off and then does it again, and like my head is just like going insane. Like I'm like, what is reality broken? Like I don't know I don't know what we're doing. And I just kept getting more and more sick as he's doing it because my mind is just like everything's just going haywire. And after that, dude, I don't even know where the rest of my night went. Like next thing I knew, I woke up in my bed, and I came out that morning, and I was like, what happened last night? And they were like, oh, well, after this happened, you went outside and you threw up, and then you passed out on the porch, and then we woke you up, and you came back inside, and you chugged like 3 more beers, and then fell on the couch and passed back out. And so we literally carried you to your bed. I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again, because if I lose that much of my night and I don't even remember what happened, I don't want any part of that. And that was the night I decided I never did it again. Like I know that's not like a typical experience, but like I never wanted to do it again.
Yeah. I guess I had a similar experience, but it wasn't an experience where I was like, I'm never doing that again. It was more of an experience of like, glad I did that. It was fun. So I'm glad I got that experience. I went to what year was this? I think it was like I left for the Marine Corps in 2016, so it had to have been like 2014. I think it was the Halloween of 2014. I was invited to a Halloween party by my friend Tyler, who was currently one of my coworkers. And me and this chick Sierra had just broken up, or separated, or whatever you want to call it, because I don't think we're really dating. I can't remember.
Separated.
We're
separated. You guys weren't married.
Yeah, I don't think we're actually dating. I think we just split off. Like we were no longer having sex with each other. Basically, is all there was. Basically, it's just like, oh hey, I'm done.
We just cut each other off and then stop talking to each other forever.
Yeah, pretty much. But so. It was me, Tyler. I don't think Aaron went. So I think it was just me, Tyler, Sierra, and then some person I didn't know in my car. And I had already started smoking. So I was driving, and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, you guys want some?" Being a good driver, being a good host. I was like, "Do you guys want some as well? I am willing to share." And of course, they partook in the marijuana as well.
In the weed.
Yeah.
In the devil's lettuce.
So all four of us are in my car just having fun on the way to the Halloween party. We get there, and this dude has like a 2-story barn. Huge. And the entire thing is just built for partying.
Nice.
Like ping pong table, full on surround sound. I'm pretty sure there was a foosball table too, like a couch, 3 like of the massive bottles of Everclear.
I was about to ask you what
Everlast is a band, isn't it? Yeah, so they had the 3 big bottles of Everclear, and they had like just a bunch of fruit punch just laid about for mixers. And I forget a lot of the night, but basically most of the night was a build-up to the game we played, which was vodka pong. And originally it started with mixed drinks of like 70 or 80% fruit punch and 30-20% vodka. And the more I won, because I was like dominating people, I was just like dunking them left and right, just destroying the other team. And I was getting bored because I'm like, I haven't gotten a chance to drink yet. So eventually I just started drinking with the enemy. And then after a while, I just got tired of mixing, so I just started pouring straight vodka. And so they had like the same mixed drinks. I'm sitting here with straight vodka and still just whooping their candy asses in vodka pong, just dunking them. And,
vodka pong sounds dangerous.
Oh my god, it was dangerous. I'm pretty sure
I haven't played beer pong, and
this is the only time I've played beer pong or vodka pong. Like, this is the first time I've played.
I haven't played beer pong in so long, since my party days. That was like the last time I ever played. I want to play again though.
I don't have
a party going on at my house.
I don't have like a period of partying. I just have like I'm super secluded for a long period of time. I party one time, go way too hard, come back with a story, and then I'm secluded for like another 5 years, and then I go and party again. Because like after
it's so weird. Okay,
after that event, I stopped.
I'm the secluded type as well. Like, I don't like to go out. I don't like to do anything. But back in my 20s, like, I wanted people over every night. But now I'm like, nah, I really don't. I don't want to go anywhere. I don't want to see anybody. I just want to be at home.
Yeah, no, I did not want to see people that often. Even back then, I was just like, I want to see you like once a week. I'm not that social of a person. Because I think, especially at this point, I'm very much just, for the most part, always laid back, just relaxed, really goofy, but for the most part, I'm just chilled, sitting back, relaxing. And then there's a very small percentage of my time where I'm that crazy partier that just wants to have fun.
Excuse us while we experience technical difficulties. We'll be back in a second. We talked about the fact that we're doing it remotely, so, I mean, the fact...
It's bound to happen.
It's not going to go off without a hitch. I mean, there's just no way.
What? So I was thinking about, like posting on YouTube and views on YouTube and what it means to, like payment per view, and like once you get big, like what does it really look like in terms of money per view when you're really big? And I don't mean like 1 million subscribers or like 2 million. I mean like in like the tens of millions. Like, what does it look like when they're that good? And do you know how many views Jake Paul gets a day?
Probably like 10 million.
You there?
Yeah, I said 10 million.
Oh, you're cutting out really bad again.
10 million.
1.5 million views a day.
Oh, okay.
But it makes him
That's still a
$7,500 a
lot.
day.
Yeah, I would love to have $7,500 a day.
Yeah. God, yeah, I would love to have that amount of money.
It'd be fantastic.
I think his net worth right now is like 11 million or like 14 million, something like that. I think his brother, is worth 17 million right now, not including his pay-per-view fight for against Mayweather.
Yeah, he's gonna get knocked out. I'm just saying that right now.
The 15-second fight that he's gonna have with Mayweather.
Yeah, it ain't gonna last long. Mayweather's just gonna go in there and knock him out.
What if this is gonna be Mayweather's only loss?
You think Mayweather will lose?
I don't think that Mayweather's gonna lose, but I think what if it did happen? Like, what would be the results of him like just knocking the lights out of Mayweather? Like, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I don't think he has a chance of winning, but you have to keep all possibilities open of like there is a chance that he could win.
I just don't. I don't see it happening. But you never know. Stranger things have happened.
Never know, man. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, Mayweather has never lost a fight. So I'm just thinking, like, if this was the one fight he lost, that would be absurd.
Ha he did it. Absurd.
I love the idea of it. It's the name of the podcast. He said it. Look at him. Look at the son bitch.
He did it.
But no, I don't think he stands a chance because like this guy's never lost a professional fight, and Paul Ryan's only fought one professional quote unquote fight.
Paul
and
Ryan?
He barely won.
You just said?
Did I say Paul Ryan? I said Paul Ryan.
Yeah.
No.
Ryan Paul?
Ryan Paul, yeah. I had to think for a second. I was like, wait, I know that sounds so close, but what did I get wrong?
You just
Ryan Paul.
Yeah. Around.
Paul Ryan. Paul, isn't Paul Ryan a politician?
I have no idea. You think I keep up with the politics?
I'm pretty sure he is. I just know the name because I heard it in someone's song before. I think the lyric was like, I hope you go rock climbing and your hand slips and you fall diving onto a bunch of fucking dicks.
Oh.
It's a pretty good song. I like that song. It's funny. It's very political. I know you don't like politics.
It's not interesting to me. It's just, basically politics is like a bunch of kids just fighting with each other. Like, that's all I see it as. There was a story out of Oklahoma City. Yeah, it was the OSBI is accusing a daughter and two teenagers of killing the girl's parents.
I saw this.
The unnamed
I saw this on
18-year-old,
Christmas Day.
And 15-year-old. Yeah, like, I get getting mad at your parents. I get, their rules aren't fair, blah, blah, blah. But to kill them? Like, oh my god. You have to have some kind of, like, mental problem to go and kill your parents.
I wonder what the statistic is of sons killing their parents to daughters killing their parents. So I feel like a lot more daughters have their parents killed than their sons do.
I think it's because statistically, parents are harder on daughters than they are on sons.
Also, I feel like daughters go through a lot more emotional change when it comes to when they hit their teenage years than boys do. Like I don't think boys go through nearly as much emotional change.
Yeah.
I mean, they still go through a lot, but not
No.
as much as a woman does.
Yeah. I think boys is just like what's happening in my body, but then like that's it. It's just the body.
Well, I mean, you
But
have that.
women, it's like
You
girls,
have
it's
that like large surge of testosterone too that you don't know what to do with. So you're always like either like feeling super depressed or you're always horny. And there's no in between.
Yeah.
And just furious all the time. You're angry at everything.
Yeah, like I mean, I got angry when I was a teenager, but it was like always like relationship driven. It was never just like I'm mad because I'm mad. It was I'm mad because of what's happening in my relationship.
There's been a lot of times that I was mad. I would wake up angry for no reason. And I'm just like, why am I so angry? Of course, back then I didn't self-reflect as much as I do now, so.
Right.
Now I wake up, I'm like, why am I angry? There's no reason for this, and I calm down.
Mine was just like, why do I have pimples all over my forehead? This is annoying.
I had a lot of that. I'd be like, why do I have a volcano on my forehead?
Mine wasn't even like one. It was like my entire forehead was like a minefield. It was terrible.
See, mine was always like, I didn't have really bad acne, but the ones I did have just got fucking massive.
Now, see, mine was like a lot, and then like now it's just like my forehead's like like even my wife was like, you have a really smooth forehead. I was like, yeah, well, I would hope so after the years of freaking agony I had to deal with.
Torture, yeah.
Yeah, freaking pimples everywhere. The only thing I got wrong with my forehead now is when I had chickenpox and I picked one off. Now I got like an indentation in the middle of my forehead.
I mean, I got an indentation in the middle of my forehead, but that's because of a metal disc.
Well, so we have indentions in our head, but for different reasons.
Yeah. Mine's from injuries.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the top of my head looks like a tic-tac-toe board because of how many scars I got.
Dude, I have had stitches 4 times in my life, and they were all on my head. The head on my shoulders.
I don't think, besides my appendectomy, I think the only stitches I've had is on my head, yeah. Because I didn't get stitches for my arm when that face mask went into my forearm. I should have. I didn't get it for when I like skinned my elbows almost to the fucking bones. So
I had a set of stitches on each of my eyebrows. I had one on the top corner of my forehead. A set of stitches on the top corner of my forehead, and I had literally one stitch put in the back of my head. Why one stitch? Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, the last time I busted
like
my head, I refused to get stitches. I was like, no, I'm not doing it.
I just feel like one stitch, like, you could have just let that thing, like, stop bleeding on its own.
Yeah, it's like, what is one stitch going to do that, like,
right.
a Band-Aid isn't going to do?
Well, I think they didn't put a Band-Aid because it was on the top. It was, like, in my hair. So they couldn't really put
so they didn't want to shave the hair.
Yeah. But
well, they're supposed to anyway for a stitch.
They didn't.
So they were wrong either way.
Well, my hair was like already like cut short. Like I always like buzz my head, so it was already pretty short. So I think they were just able to do it without having to shave it anymore.
Yeah.
But I feel like they could have just like gave me some paper towels and just told me to hold it there, and then just let it kind of clot up on its own.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they could have gone.
So I don't.
They could have gone liquid bandage and just sprayed it in a little bit. Just small enough so
I think this was before. This was before liquid bandage.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, I was like 10, so this was almost 21 years ago.
Yeah. Like 1999,
I say almost 21
2000.
years ago. Like I literally just turned 30 in October.
So it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, 20 years ago. So I don't think liquid bandage was out then.
Yeah, it might not have been, honestly. I didn't even know what liquid bandage was until it was after you guys, as after you came over I think when I first met Brittany. And we had all of those Jello shots that nobody took.
Oh
So we just had like a big tub of Jello shots, and I had eaten it and then went swimming in the swimming pool. And then as I tried to come up from the swimming pool, my shoulder hit the bottom of the ladder and like skinned my shoulder because it was just sharp metal at the bottom of the ladder, and I literally bounced up from the bottom of the pool with full force into it. And so all I did was put liquid bandage on it and then just start playing the guitar.
That was the night that your mom was terrified.
Seeing ghosts in the pool.
Seeing ghosts, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good night.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fun time. And then she was sitting there crying, yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of crying that day, apparently.
Yeah, a lot of crying and a lot of anger that day. That was fun. I hope to never have to experience that again.
I would say that was kind of foreshadowing for future events too.
Yeah, it was.
A lot more anger that came in the future years.
Yeah. Well, that's just part of life, I guess. That's just part of life, I guess.
I will say I feel like I'm cursed because I don't think there's a single male in this family that hasn't been married once, had a kid, and then divorced.
I mean, you can break the cycle. It's all up to you.
That I know. That's my goal. I'm scared because I feel like it's just the Cavalier curse of just not being able to avoid that.
And you know what? Listen, I got married when I was 24, so...
God, I'm so close.
I know.
God, I'm reaching that number. I wonder what Dad was when he got married the first time.
Well, okay, so I think him and my mom were already married when they had us, me and my sister, our sister, I guess.
Yeah, one of them. Well, yeah, the only one between us. But yeah.
So, how old's Dad?
I don't know. He doesn't even know.
Like 52, I think.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So 21, 22, 21 when he had me.
My
mom had.
I'm around that time period.
Yeah, you're in between him and me right now.
Yeah.
Because I had Rayleigh at 25.
I'm getting there. So I got to make sure New Year's resolution for 2021: do not meet anybody until I can get past that age.
My New Year's resolution is to have 1,000 followers on Facebook.
That's that's ours.
Podcast page. No, that's mine. That's mine too.
It's the podcasts.
And to hit 10,000 downloads by the end of the year.
Ooh, 10,000 downloads. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you have 1,000 people following, that's 10 downloads a person. We're gonna continuously make episodes throughout the year.
Okay, so I guess if they download each audio clip, each recording.
I mean, I would hope that anyone that likes our stuff downloads every single one, because that's what I would do.
Yeah, I mean, especially just to like, if you're doing something you just want to binge listen to something, like just have something in the background for, what is it now, 10 hours? Yeah, how many hours of content do we have out? It's like between like 10 to 15, I think.
No, it's probably like...
We have 9. More videos above an hour than below an hour.
Yeah, but they're not much above the hour. So
I guess we only have one that's like an hour and a half, don't we? And that's when we recorded for like 3 hours.
Yeah, and then you have another episode that's 32 minutes long. So I think it's about 9 hours.
That's fair. That's still like, if you want to binge listen to something, I mean, 9 hours of something to just have playing in the background while you're, getting homework done, or if you're, on your computer just doing random stuff, playing video games. if you're cooking, cleaning, and you just want that little audio company in the background just keeping you busy, just download the videos from any of our sources down the link.
Yeah.
Link below.
Yeah. Down. We have Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Hoping some more soon. Still waiting to hear back from
iHeartRadio. iHeartRadio. Listen, beat your heart out because we're coming, and you're not stopping us.
Yep. We'll get there.
We're climbing in your window, snatching your people up. Hide your kids, hide your wife.
We're coming for you.
Beat your heart out.
So, I mean, as of right now, you have 3 forms of listening, and hopefully 4 soon. I'm trying Pandora as well, but I don't know. See how that goes. No, actually, I take that back. I was going to do Pandora, but their user agreement was like, holy crap, this is a lot to read, so I haven't read it yet.
And definitely don't want to agree
I'm
to
not
anything
kidding.
without reading.
Exactly, and it was like, I mean, seriously, it was like 9 pages long.
They're hiding stuff.
I was like, I have...
How long was Apple Music's?
Not very long. It was like, hey, we can take down something if we feel like it. This is your user agreement. Pretty much, like.
It's just one sentence that just says, we're watching you.
Yeah, basically. We're keeping an eye on
It's
it,
weird.
But,
you would think Apple one would be the longest one, honestly. Just because it's Apple.
Yeah, you would think. But no, iHeart is like... No, it was Pandora that was like crazy. iHeart wasn't that bad. iHeart, really, there wasn't much. But, I don't know. I'll have to show you what happened whenever I did it. Because I said in 2 weeks I should know. And it's been longer than 2 weeks since I tried. I think.
Are you able to try again?
Yeah.
Just spam them.
But I'll show you what it does. Because it's annoying. Basically, like, you type in the information, and it tells you thank you for submitting, and then it brings you back to that same page again, where you have to reinsert your information. I'm like, okay. So it's just some, like, endless loop to keep me off of iHeart?
Just fill it out like 25 times, be like, you will accept me.
Yeah. I think I've done it 4 times now. Because I'm like, it's gotta be a different screen that comes up. But
we will be heard.
You're gonna take us. You're gonna take us, iHeart, one way or another. We're getting in. So, do you have anything else you want to talk about today, or?
No.
I really don't either. Like,
I had my struggle bus of what I talked about with my power and water.
I had mine of being quarantined and not enjoying it at all. But
and I was going to mention that parent murder, because I remember seeing that on Christmas, and I was like, really?
Oh,
yeah. I was saying that, and I was like, so for one, so this will be the last thing I'll talk about. So on Christmas Day, I went fishing with mom and dad. Our dad, my mom. But so before we went fishing, we had breakfast and everything, and we're watching the news, and they was doing a recap of the year, and guess what they were talking about for the recap of the year?
What?
Black Lives Matter riots.
Oh, yeah.
And people being killed on the streets. Yes, but like, save it for the end of the year. Save it for the
December 25th is close enough.
Save it for the 30th or the 31st. Don't ruin people's Christmas by talking about racial murder.
Well, to be fair, most people don't watch the news on Christmas Day.
Well, even more reason to not talk about it on the news that day then. Like, because you're literally taking people's, like, their last bit of joy for the year, of this horrible year, and then you're being like, hey, by the way, don't forget that white people are racist and people are dying on the streets and rioting because of it. It's like, let people just
know,
enjoy their day instead of throwing out your propaganda bullshit at us.
they don't portray that white people are racist. They're just
If
portraying that people are racist.
if you were watching the news on Christmas Day, well, at least locally from where we were watching, it was pretty like hate on white heavy. It was well, not even hate on white. It was just that it was a lot of like they were very much emphasizing the fact that white people are making hate crimes against black people, which I'm not saying that they're not, but on Christmas Day, basically saying like, hey, don't forget, you hate this race because they're attacking a different race. It's like, stop.
Don't forget, white people suck.
Yeah, it's like, listen, I understand that horrible things are going on, and people are at fault for it, and those people should be liable for what they did. But the answer to like hate isn't more hate, and especially on Christmas Day, you should not be telling people, like giving like subtle hints of being like, don't forget hate, hate, like don't forget to be angry,
hate your fellow white man.
Yeah, don't forget you're angry at somebody today. Even if it's Christmas, you hate somebody and you're angry that they exist. It's like, no, like at least for one damn day, can you just sit back and be like, you know what? Be thankful for your friends. Be thankful for your family. Remember those you've lost. And I hope you have a great day. Like, that's all you needed to say for the entire Christmas. No. Hate somebody. Be angry. And don't forget, in the back of your mind...
Be thankful that you can hate your fellow white man.
Yeah. Don't forget
hate
that
your
no
white
matter...
neighbor.
Yeah, don't forget that there is a race that you hate. And it's only because they're attacking another race. But I guarantee you, it's the entire race because we said so. It's not this named person killed this named person. It's this white man killed this black man. I think that's the whole issue, is that people are literally targeting, like, they're not saying the name as much as they're saying the race, the race, sex of the person. Like, I don't know. I forgot, there was something that I was thinking about earlier that was just, it was the whole idea of complacent, like, the ability to become complacent causes complacency. Like, if you're able to live a complacent life, you will. And now we just got to the point that we're so complacent that anything that happens that we disagree with, it can't be true or it can't be good. So if you're told to believe something long enough, you'll believe it.
We'll end on this note. Please keep your mind in a positive state. Like, there's no reason to have the hate. There's no reason to have the negativity. The internet bullying, the negativity, all it just get rid of it. Like, that's what's making our world worse. Be more positive, enjoy your life, and quit being dicks. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Don't look at somebody because they are different than you. Just look at them as they're just a different person, and
they're your fellow human.
They're going through exactly.
They are your fellow human. Yeah, they have the same trial. I mean, we're all like just trying to make it through life. Mm-hmm. And why make it harder? You're just making it harder on everyone. You're making it harder on yourself. You're making it harder on people around you. Just don't be a dick. Like, it's not that hard.
You're just a sack of skin carrying a brain.
Yeah, people seem to like make being the dick the easiest part of being alive. No.
Well,
being positive is so easy.
Yeah, it's more along the lines of it's easier to try to fix something through anger and trying to like attack an insult with an insult than to fix the issue. So it's easier to attack an issue by pointing out a different issue than it is to actually fix the issue you're going on about. Like when you see someone be like, when it's like, oh, hey, like people are rioting on the streets, and then someone's like, oh, hey, save the rainforest. It's like, well, why aren't you worried about the people rioting? It's like, because that's a separate issue. Like, why are you attacking my solution with a problem?
I mean,
don't attack my solution with a problem.
Okay.
Join the solution.
Okay, let's just put it this way.
Fighting something.
I'm just going to put it in this nice little situation, like a little situation to kind of put it in your mind. If you're walking down the street, what do you think is going to cause more effort? Smiling and waving at someone? Or saying, what's up, asshole? And then now you got a confrontation. Now you got more to deal with than just saying, hey, how you doing? Yeah, now you got to fight. Now, I mean, you just put someone else in a bad mood. Like, you're literally, if a smile and a wave or a hey, how you doing, literally can like change people's life by just being positive and being nice to other people. Like, when did being nice become the second option? I just don't get it.
Because nice isn't the most convenient thing to do. It's more convenient to be rude
But it
than
is.
it is to take the effort in to be
No.
to go out of your way to be nice.
No, I just gave you an example of why that's not more convenient. If you're nice, you can literally say, "Hey, how you doing?" and keep on walking.
Well,
But if you
by
say,
what
"Hey,
I
you're a
mean,
dick,"
by what I mean,
now
by,
all of a sudden
by more
you got more things to deal with.
Yeah, what I mean by more convenient is they're most likely already in a bad mood. So it's more convenient to stay in a bad mood than to try to be in a better mood to make someone else feel better.
See,
It's easier to
if
make
you're in
them
a bad
feel
mood,
worse with me.
If you're in a bad mood, just kind of like keep that bad mood to yourself until you can talk about it in a healthy way.
It's scientifically proven that if you make yourself smile, you will eventually be in a better mood in that day. It's just people don't want to go out of their way to try to make themselves feel better. If they're in a bad mood, your brain's just like, no, I'm in a bad mood. I hate everything and everyone. They're going to be in a bad mood with me.
Well, here's the sad thing. Like, it takes less effort to smile than it does to keep your frowny face.
Yeah, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile.
It's so easy to... Yeah. So you're actually,
physically,
the most convenient thing is to just be happy. Just smiling is so easy to do, but frowning and being in a bad mood, that takes so much more effort. And it's so mentally draining on your body to just stay in a bad mood.
It physically ages you to be in a bad mood.
Yeah.
Like you will physically die sooner than other people if you're in a bad mood all the time.
Yeah, it's not.
It can physically kill you.
I don't know.
I'm done with that tangent.
I have no more words. I have no more words for all this because it's just like, why is the most convenient form of human interaction become like set to the wayside for a more hostile environment? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Think of how many times someone has gone out of their way randomly without having to. Think about how much of an impact that makes when you, like, there's been a couple times where someone has gone out of their way just to make my life a little bit easier for no reason other than to just be nice.
Right.
Like, they didn't get anything, and that sticks with you. Like that, like I will die with some of those memories. Like imagine if you go somewhere and you pay for someone's meal, or you like offer to take someone's card to the card return at the grocery store, or you help somebody, like just in general with anything. Like they'll appreciate it. Obviously don't do that right now because you might get sick. But
yeah, right.
But like in general, like think of how that impacts them, of like they don't really forget that. And if they do forget it, like they'll still have the faint memory, be like, I kind of remember like someone did something like that to me. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it makes you happier.
Right.
It makes a good impact on people. It makes someone's day. It makes like a long time, because that's one good memory they can add to their memory bank. They can think back.
Well, and here's the thing. I was at the local grocery store. It was probably about a week ago or so, and I'm just walking through, and this old man comes up behind me and just goes, "Hey, how are you?" I have no idea who this guy is. Never seen him before in my life. And normally I would say, "I'm good," and just keep on walking. But I felt like the fact that he randomly came up to me and asked me that, felt like he needed someone to talk to. I said, "I'm good. How are you doing, man? How are you doing, sir?" And he sat there, and like you could see the smile on his face. Like he was like, "Oh my God, someone's actually like wanting to talk to me." And it made his day for me just saying, "I'm good. How are you?" I said 3 extra words, and it changed his whole day. Like, how hard is that for people to understand?
I feel like people don't want to have, I feel like people don't want to have a confrontation, so they just they avoid a bad conversation not knowing that it could turn out to be like a really good one, just because they're like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know this person. This person could be weird. This person could be angry. But it's like,
But
or
you
it could
don't
just
know
be a
that
person.
until you talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why
That could be your
immediately
best
think
friend in 10 years.
negatively
You
on
don't know.
someone? Like, think, yeah, I could be, me and him, this old 80-year-old man, I could have been, what if he, like, died that afternoon? And the last thing someone said was, like, oh, I'm good, and just kept on walking. Now he's like, oh, hey, someone actually wanted to talk to me right before I died. That was nice.
Yeah,
Like,
what if the last thing he heard was like, don't talk to me or leave me alone?
Yeah. Or, like, like someone gives them a weird face and, like, walks off, like, don't talk to me, weirdo.
Yeah.
Like, that's his last memory of interaction with someone. Instead, he got, hey, I'm good, man. How are you doing? And we talked for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, well, you have a good day. I got to finish grocery shopping, but you have a very good day, sir. And he said, you too, smiled, and walked off. That could have been his last human interaction. Why would you want that to be, don't talk to me?
Yeah. Don't treat other people as subhuman. Because that's
treat
what
them
all,
as an equal.
Yeah. That's where it all really lays down
It's
to,
not
is
hard.
that we see other people as less than us because we think so high of ourselves. Don't forget that it's another person that's going through life just like you. Maybe they have an easier life.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a much harder life. Maybe they haven't been able to talk to somebody in weeks or months. Maybe he has a family that doesn't visit him, and maybe like he just wants to talk to somebody. So
or maybe
be
every
nice.
time he tries to talk to someone, they blow him off and act like he's
Yeah.
weird. Like,
yeah, so all you got to do is just be polite. Like,
so
start a conversation with
well,
someone.
and we'll end the show on this message. Don't be so selfish and self-centered. Think of other people. Be positive. Spread joy. Not that hard.
New year, new you.
We will see y'all next week.
Goodbye.
New year, new us. Bye. And that's our show. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you look for us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Search Absurditee69. That's Absurdity with 2 E's. You can also find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And if you feel like it, hop on over to that YouTube channel, Absurditee Podcast, and you can watch us as we go through the show.